All right, boys, you finally have a not midnight recording, but unfortunately my voice is kind of weird chimp right now, so I apologize if there's any weird sounds. Today is this part 5 or part 6? I think it's part 5. We're going to be covering my history with John, aka Nobody, in the Civiv main, who's not actually part of Civiv main now that the game started to die. He's jumped over to battledudes.io, so that shows you that he has no allegiance to this server, only whatever can get him the dopamine that he wants for being in charge of little children. Anyway, let's read through what I said to him and what he said back to me. Hey, my dude, can I have perms to post in team recruiting? Thanks, my dude. He responded, did you post recently? I said, no. He said, go ahead. I said, thanks. He said, no problem. Absolutely no problem here. 528.18, 930.18. Can I have perms to post in team recruiting? Sure. Sorry, late reply. Okay, give me like an hour, please. All right. Can I have perms? Yeah, I gave you perms. Okay, give me a second, please. I'm writing an IR right now. I don't know what IR means, but doesn't matter. All right. Now here's when the drama start. 2:10:19. He says, hey man, re-added you to talk. I know you're very frustrated. I said, yeah, I'm frustrated because it's unfair and I'm not getting answers. You're telling me I got banned for doxing, which I didn't do and isn't against the rules technically. Another mod is saying that I'm getting banned for raiding servers, which is also not a rule. And yet Pale and Osami, who did the same thing, are free. I looked into the doxing thing more. Trust me, I take doxing and raiding very seriously. Okay, then why isn't it in the Civiv rules? He said, I hold no bias with Pale or Osami. I don't know how if you pronounce that. I've called him Ollie all the time. Who did you ask that said you were banned for raiding servers? Nick. This is not the dev Nick, this is the mod Nick. He said, just recently? He said, just recently? I said, yeah, like a few hours ago after we talked. He said, it's possible that there is some misinformation. I said, well, I read the ban log and it didn't have much description in it. He said, what ban log? The one that y'all keep. Apparently it said something like previously banned, rebanned. Nobody said, oh, that there was a message on that previously, but you were unbanned briefly, so the message was lost. And I said, why was I unbanned briefly? He said, a mistake. And I asked, what bot do you use for ban logs? Because back then I owned a couple servers, and I had like 4 different logs, so I could offer to help him figure out what the original reason was if he had a bot log similar to any of the bots that I used. And he said the original reason was for the doxing, which is interesting that he says doxing here because all I did was just use Pale's profile picture, which was a picture of him. I put a rainbow filter over it and then sent it in his server, and that apparently counts as doxing. He says, I asked, what bot do you use for ban logs? And he said, why does that matter? And I said, because I have a hard time believing that you unbanning somebody would delete the ban log. I've never heard of a bot that does that. And he says it's in the audit log. When you ban someone and then set a reason and then unban, that message goes away, which is true only if you're using just Discord to run your ban log. So like I'll show you, for example, here. I've got some bans in here because I banned everybody. So if you go to bans here, 89 bans. So let's go to Adam here. I know you're his alt. So that was the ban reason here. Argon bye bye arsenic is not actually arsenic, but still cheating while in server. So you can see this ban reason is here. But if I unban somebody, I'm not actually gonna unban somebody and ban them again. I think they might get a message and I don't want to bother them. But if I unban them, if I like unban him here and then ban him again saying like lame or something, then alt will go away and lame will go there. But that's only if you run this here. So like all this stuff here, see like here I kicked everybody from the SWL. Thanks for playing, see you soon. All this stuff is here. If I unkicked him and kicked him again, I could put another reason. This message would still be here. I'd have to search for it. It wouldn't be the last message regarding him, but the next message would be the one that I would see here. And if I banned him from that reason, it would be the ban reason here, but I'd still be able to see the old reason if I search for it. So that makes me believe that either they had a bot log that they weren't going to tell me about because it had something misleading, or they didn't have a bot log, which is majorly concerning because that's imperative of owning a server, is having at least 2 bot logs. I use 4. I know it's a little overkill. Sometimes I do 5 depending on the bot, and I usually have 1 that only I can access and only me and the admins can access, and then a couple that the moderators can access so that there's no tampering between moderators like that. So I said, he said it's in the audit logs. Sorry, I already covered that. I said, oh really now? He said, yeah, did you get a screenshot from Nick or did he tell you the reason? And I said, he told me the reason. Listen mate, I'm a server owner. I know how this stuff works. He said, we don't use a bot log. We don't use a bot to log the ban reasons. I'm not lying about this. I'm not a moron. You know when you ban someone through Discord, not bot command, you set a reason, right? When you unban them, the reason is no longer available, which is true, but I find it really concerning that they don't have a bot log because this is a major server that this bot log, if they're banning as many people as people have said they're banning, which A said there's like 2,700 bans or something, that bot log is gonna get covered in like 3 days. Not even. That's only if you consider bans. Without bans, I bet you that the window of opportunity there is like a couple hours. So not having a bot log is really concerning. But anyway, he said, dude, do you realize how big the main server is? And I said, and it's really easy to filter out. You know, you can put out the ban and that was a ban. There can't be that many bans and you're using excuses and you're trying to BS me. And he said, bro, I re-added you to talk. Okay, the problem is here is that you have all the power. All you want to do is argue and report to insults and false assumptions. reasons. And I said, no, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get justice, and apparently having a discussion isn't working. He said, justice for what? I said, right now there's an injustice. I got banned for something that Pale and Osami did the exact same thing, but they're still free. I didn't even want an unban here. I just wanted it to be fair. Either I got unbanned and Pale and Ollie were fine, or they got banned and I got banned. I didn't ask for an unban. I asked for it to be fair. And he said, yeah, which I'm trying to find out, but you keep making up false assumptions and things. I'm lying to you about it, ball. Like, really. When I search for your name in the ban log, all I see is the recent ban reason, which is an issue that has a bot issue. I don't know why they can't see my past one, but that's an issue. And he said, I said, were you the one that banned me, or do you know who banned me? And he said, I didn't personally ban you the first time, but I know the reason was originally for the Pale doxing thing, which I don't understand why I got banned twice in the same day, or I got banned, unbanned, and then banned again, because this was all same day here. So I really don't understand how that became a thing. I really don't understand how that was an oversight, but whatever. I said, listen, I'm not making false assumptions. You're telling me stuff that doesn't add up, so I'm questioning you. Do you know who did ban me? He says, it really doesn't matter. You were banned and I told you the original reason. Why can't you just leave it at that? And here's a problem. I'm asking questions to clarify for myself and to make sure that this checks out. And a couple times here it says like it really doesn't matter. Like I don't want to tell you that, all that stuff about like the bot. And let's see where he said that. Why does it matter? Why does that matter? So he said that here. He said it really doesn't matter, but it does matter. That's the problem. Because I think there's something suspicious going on, so I want proof, and I know how you could give me proof if it's there, which it wasn't there because, well, it either wasn't there or he was lying about how it wasn't there. And I said, and it's not hard either. I said I was getting to the doxing thing before he started going on the ban reason, which I don't know. I never got told I got banned. I just got banned all of a sudden. What isn't adding up? How the ban log just disappeared? Because I proved that it doesn't disappear like you said it does. I was referring to the ban tab, which is the one that I showed you earlier, where you can see everybody's ban reason. See, this is where I got messed up, because I use bots. I never use the Discord because the Discord is really poor at logging stuff, which is why anybody who's anybody knows to use bot. And the audit log is probably still there. Okay, can you search for it? How many bans do you guys have this month? What's this got to do with anything? Once again, dodging a question because I'm trying to let you know that's not how it's not that hard to search for ban logs. Just set it to bans and then go back to the beginning of January, which is where it should be. But of course, now I know that they have like 300 to 500 bans a month, so it wouldn't be there because it only covers like 30 bans or so. I just explained to you what it meant about the ban log. I wasn't actually talking about the actual audit log stop assuming thing. Once again, it didn't assume stuff. Probably asked the question and got denied because I asked which bot he used, said it didn't matter. So I'm trying to not assume things. I'm trying to ask questions, but he's not answering the questions here. I said, okay, well then check into the actual audit log. And he said, there's no search bar in the audit log. I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job, but we are both wasting our time here if nothing gets done. He said, yeah, this is really audit. First of all, he never wanted anything to get done. He just wanted me to stop bothering them and stop causing trouble because that's what I did. And he said, you don't need to search in the audit log. I said, you don't need to search in the audit log. He said, like, I could probably go through the audit log, but this is a waste of time when I already told you the reason. The point wasn't that I didn't have a reason. The point was that it was an unfair reason. Well, originally it was because there was no reason, but after I found out the reason, it was because it was unfair at that point because I didn't get the same punishment that Pale and Ollie got because they didn't get any punishment and I got harsh punishment. So, and by the way, Pale admits that this was all a sham, basically. He said that he fabricated what he told nobody and that nobody was not willing to punish them, only me. I think I could probably find that. Oh, actually, he might have deleted his profile, but I can probably, I'll try to find it. I think I might have a screenshot somewhere. Anyway, let's see. I said you can just change what you're looking for in bans. There can't be that many bans and it's been just over a month. I was wrong. I didn't realize how many bans they had. I thought back then this was like a semi-fair server and that people would only get banned for extreme reasons. Back at this point, I was only doing like 5 bans a month, less than that in my servers. My servers had a couple hundred members in it. So I said, you can just change what you're looking for in bans. There can't be that many bans. It's only been just over a month. He said, all right, can filter by user. I usually just look at the ban log list because it's a search box. Okay, but that's not working. You gotta try something else. Since you're rebanned, it makes the situation extremely rare. Once again, I have 5 bots so that even a rare situation like this, some bot will be able to find it somewhere. I said, okay, well, I'm sorry about that. But there are other ways other than the bans list log. And I've given you another way. He says, yeah, I found it. Yeah, it does say you were banned for raiding, which once again, I didn't raid. Even Ollie admitted that I didn't raid, but apparently I got banned for it. Okay, so I said, okay, well, that's what I was banned for. So there was no misinformation when it came to Nick. So if I was banned for raiding, I would like Pale and Osami to also be banned for raiding. See, it was that difficult. That's all I wanted the whole time. And here's people admitted to raiding. Here's more proof. By the way, please take a note who banned me. You don't have to tell me, but I would like you to keep track of it. He said, I got this from Harsh. Yeah, that's Osami. He had an alt. That's an Imgur album. Yeah, some of that was what happened last raid attempt. Some of them was the last successful raid. They both attempted to get Harsh and Fedora to give them council roles so that they could greet the server, but I was in Fedora and Harsh's ear the entire time trolling them. Didn't DM get raided as well at one point? Yes, twice. I heard it originally originated from TD members mostly. I mean, I guess, but it wasn't like TD versus DM. It was just members from TD. It wasn't something TD was promoting. So about your ban, the original reason I thought was just for DM spam. So now there's DM spam in here, apparently. I thought it was originally for doxing, but now it's apparently for DM spam and raiding. So that's interesting. I said, okay. He said, did you raid IO? Be honest with me. I said, no, I did not. I attempted to, but I did not. He said, how did you attempt? I said, I'm being honest. I tried to get somebody to give me perms. I think it was Buggy. He finessed me. And by the way, when I say I attempted to raid, I went to the servers and said, somebody give me admin so I could take this place down, which I don't really know is really good raiding. But anyway, I said, yeah, but no offense, but that's not the job of the main server to deal with. Justin and Nick both said they weren't going to have anything to do with clans because of how messy it was getting. He said, which is true. Yeah, we generally stay out of it unless things get real serious, like related to doxing. That doesn't excuse Osami or Pale for raiding, however. So now this is interesting. So he said here that it was DM spam and raiding that I got banned for, but now all of a sudden it's not bannable if for just raiding because Osami and Pale are fine. Now I got banned for doxing, which wasn't part of the original reason here. He just made that up now as an excuse to save these two here with being able to ban me. So interesting how it's a different reason every time I'm asking him what the reason is, or every time he presents the reason. That's the major concern here. He said, this was me talking back a long time ago. This was part of video 1. So I said, listen, I don't want them to get banned. I just want equal punishment for us all. This time last year, Nick didn't care at all. Nobody said I'm all for equality. Also, I don't approve of connected Servivio communities servers raiding each other, which I was never a big fan either. I would never raided IO by asking for perms if they didn't come and grief my server first. You guys know that I have only ever quote raided one server. My server's been raided 4 or 5 times or so throughout the years because each server is technically a part of the community as a whole. Interesting here that John says servers are part of the community. You'll see that there's a total switch up within the next year about how servers are no longer part of the community. Only when it's beneficial to his narrative will they say it's part of the community. See the same thing with Libby too. Anyway, I said, I mean, yeah, but there are toxic parts of the community. It doesn't mean the whole entire community should suffer. I'm totally against raiding. I raided because Pale was forcing everyone to leave my clan. That's the reason. He said that's believable. I said I hate people who take advantage of people that are lower than them. So this is basically what Pale was doing here. He was saying you are not allowed in my server unless you leave Cryptic's server, which I believe at the time was LM. And of course, LM at that point was on the decline. I will be honest, it was not a poppin' server anymore. It hasn't been for a while. It wasn't at that point. Even now, there's still the LM server, I think you can see it's dead. But the point was he was forcing people to leave my server in order to be able to stay in his server, which is a really scummy move. It's not like super difficult to figure out that's scummy. Anyway, he said, why did you get Pale to message me to talk to you, by the way? If there is so much beef between you? I said I wanted to see if he was friends with you. Here's proof of them leaving. If you want to join LM for a second, I can show you more detail of a court case we had about an issue, me versus Pale and Osami. This was before they got Sushi and a couple other people on board to raid the server. And he said, well, I try to keep open relationship with everyone because I kind of have to be a big moderator. F my keyboard. I kind of have to being a moderator. F my keyboard. Now it's all right. I believe you. Interesting here that he says he has to keep an open relationship with everyone, but continues to do whatever he can to silence me over the next 2 years, or over the next, yeah, it's close to 2 years now. So I said, so sure, what I tried to do was bad, but I feel like it was justified. He took my co-owner and a bunch of members. And this has been stemming since the start of IO, plus he raided my server. I actually rebanned you from an unban because I seen pictures of you spamming Pale's face. And he said, okay, why did you do that? He said, I assumed it was malicious doxing. I said I spammed pictures of Pale's face to him. It was in his profile, which is where you see the DM spam ban, which is really a weird thing to ban because Pale and I were in like 5 separate servers. So, and I hadn't communicated in all in Civ main for a while. So it's kind of odd that, see, for me, whenever I see somebody who DM advertises, unless the only mutual server is my server, or if 2 or more people get the same DM message and the only mutual servers between the 3 of them are my servers, I usually don't punish harshly for that because it could be another server that allows DM advertising and they just are in that server and not dealing with my server really too much. So I usually take a little bit of leeway with that. Obviously, John here did not. He just banned me for DM spam, which was definitely not related to Civ main. It was related to a community server. I'm not saying that it's right to DM spam, but in my opinion, it seems like a little bit of a harsh punishment, and it is a changing punishment every 3 minutes. Anyway, yeah, so we covered where I got the photo. We covered where I got the photo from. It was a picture he sent out. John says, I remember Golden Nuke dealing with some real issues with doxing, and I said, yeah, it was his own fault. And keep in mind, I was really the only person that had Golden's back, and even I was willing to see that it was his own fault. You don't send pictures of people, don't send pictures of yourself in compromising positions if you don't want them spam being sent out to everybody. That's like internet 101. So I'm not going to show you the picture because it's not like inappropriate or anything, but it's not a flattering picture, and it has an address on it and all that stuff because he'd publicly give this information out, and that's like brain dead. But anyway, he said people spamming his face and address and stuff. And keep in mind, I was one of the people that was like trying to shut this down. And I said, yeah, that was the same community. It was real toxic. You released too much private information to a bunch of unlike shark. When I see you doing that to Pale, it reminded me of what Nuke went through, which is not comparable at all because one, people were constantly for years spamming, or I guess for months, I guess more like it, spamming Nuke's address and a picture of him in a compromised position, basically. I don't want to go too much into detail of it, but this was just a picture. This is just me spamming a picture with a filter on it that Pale had previously posted in a server to his DM. So I don't really see how that's comparable at all, but I guess I can understand some of it. I said, but mine is not nearly as bad. I mean, sure, it's not good, but I didn't have any address, his name, any identifiable information. Golden has his full name, address, and him half naked. And he said, I invested you image spanned and your story is true. The fact that you did get it from somewhere else, hence TD Cancer, which is where he posted, though spamming and harassing a user via DMs is just as bad too. So now apparently rating or harassing a user via DM is a worse a worse offense than raiding a server, apparently, although he said that raiding a server is really bad and nobody got much else. I said, I'm gonna be honest with you, everyone harasses everyone in this community. It's a war zone. I guarantee Pale has done worse. That's not me like trying to minimize what I did, because what I did obviously wasn't like the greatest idea, but for him to stay all high and mighty and say that he did nothing wrong was completely wrong. And I said I got ganged up on the Civiv main war server, everyone including Pale calling me the F slur because I'm gay. And I said, how do you think that made me feel? And then I was banned for then asking WSun1 why he didn't ban Pale for calling me that. Keep in mind, this became the server that I owned, so that's some weird karma, and then I banned Cloudy from that. Interesting. He said, pretty crappy, I'm imagining. Sorry to hear that. I've seen another user going through a similar thing, Whalefish, and then I got banned for spamming a picture of Pale to himself, but Pale didn't get punished for anything that he's done. Cloudy says Pale is sending hate to him and making fat jokes, and in return, that is just getting everyone else to join in. Harsh said Cloudy was also involved in the raid against LM2, right? Instead against DM. Also this before. He's the main reason why Golden left the community and deleted DM. Yeah, because Ghost was calling him a pedo, even though he was guilty of the same thing. They shifted the attention onto Golden Nuke. Not really sure the whole story behind Nuke though. Doesn't make sense. Nuke is only like 17, right? I said it's a very difficult gray area. He's not a pedophile because he's a minor himself, but what he did is borderline illegal because I think the age gap was too strong. I think he was like 17 dating a 15-year-old or interested in a 15-year-old, and I think the limit was 1 year difference, but I don't know the legal statutes because it was in California. Nobody said opposed to Ghost being 22 and Lisa being 15, which is his like quote girlfriend, I guess. Probably heard of that. And I said, yeah, more drama. That's way more concerning because that really is illegal. Pale merged IO with Cloudy's server, by the way. I said that's why I'd never date anyone on the internet. Too messy. I know IO is dead, which is why this raiding situation against LM seems even more believable. Which, by the way, this concerns me here because maybe he doesn't think that LM being raided was believable, even though I sent him proof of both for all three of their three screenshots here, plus multiple proving that they raided. Anyway, I said Pale and Cloudy are going to try to take down other servers. TT is out due to Ollie 1337 got taken out by Ghost, I think. All the big servers are getting raided. I'm trying so hard to warn people about Ollie. Yeah, it seems like that VSM got raided as well, and I got reports of other servers getting raided too often. I saved another server that was about to be raided by Ollie. The server just got raided by someone that we haven't figured out. And he said, why did he raid that server? I said, why not? It was growing like 60 members a day. This is after less than 24 hours after the first raid. But yet I'm the one that gets banned. I think you were mainly banned for the doxed image ban, which once again was not really super doxing considering he put out the image and then I spammed it to his DMs, which doesn't seem like that big of a deal in the grand scheme of life. I mean, that'd be like people spamming this image down here and me complaining that they're doxing me. Like, it's publicly available. It was on my stream. Like, if I'm gonna put it out there, I shouldn't be punishing people for that. So I apologize for the white bar that's been up here the whole time. That was from my remnants of my stream. I'm just now getting rid of deleted that. I said, okay, I'm going to put it into police talk. Do you? He said, aha. I said, I was jaywalking. Jaywalking is a crime, so you come and arrest me. Sure, you can arrest me. Why would you arrest me when you could arrest the murderer that just killed the old lady on the other side of the road? There are only a certain amount of things that the Civiv main server mods can do in terms of time and energy. And there are also things that need to be left alone because there is no real control that you guys have. Like, sure, you banned me, but besides wanting to be part of the community, it doesn't affect me much. I can get one of my council members to advertise, or I can get the owner to advertise. Do you see what I'm getting at? He said, yeah, I'm absolutely understanding where you're coming from, hence why I'm just talking with you instead of just straight up ignoring you and avoiding this situation altogether, which I don't think is really true. And I said, I would like to warn people about Osami, whether that would be word of mouth like now, without the main server, through the main server, word of mouth, or some other way. He said, what what did you do when you spammed DMs with Pale's DMs with that image, by the way? Which is really weird because I don't really know what he's like. He says he knows all the information about the raid, but yet he's asking me questions about the raid. But I was able to prove to him that I was actually raided, but he doesn't even know what happened in this situation. But he was willing to ban me off of no evidence, but wasn't willing to ban them off of the same or over more evidence, which is another major red flag here. So now you guys can see that my claims aren't baseless now. They have like major basis to it. But anyway, we'll continue going. He said you attempted to raid IO. Did you actually tell people to join on alts and raid or anything, or it just failed because you couldn't get perms? No, I tried to get perms from someone. Well, I mean, others were in on it. We just wanted perms so we could take it down. He said, all right, what else did you do with that? I said, do with what? Like he spammed Pale's face in his DMs, attempted to raid his server, anything else? And I said, well, I was a little rude to him. He wants screenshots. Just getting to clarify the situation as you seem to be honest. It's another red flag. Why does he need it clarified if he has all the proof from Pale, which makes me believe that he didn't have any proof at all? I said, I have screenshots of what I said after. He said, Pale, we can pull up this text. Pale said, when you make fun of someone for being gay even though you're gay, I said, I'm not making fun of anyone being gay. He said, Pale more like Gale. That's a good joke. I like that one. Gale. Still, nice reading. No one cares if you say LMAO. LMAO, nobody will care about you after this gets out. No one has cared about me for a while. You think I care about what people think about me? This is a dead community. Okay, can we clear something up? Sure. Do you have anything against me? Yeah. What do you have against me? You're an off server owner. In what way? You don't fix the issues. You rely on your council to do stuff. I try to fix the stuff. Wait, I think it's cap. I said, okay, then you're actually handicapped because you didn't fix anything. And he said, love you too. I said, because it's not hard to fix, and I know it has been an issue for a while. He said, also, what did you choose as your major? There's only one issue in LM in regards to coding. I said, no, I'm accounting, finance, and risk management major, triple major, but I'm dropping out, which is not true. I didn't drop out. I transferred. And he said, oh, that's pretty cool. What do you actually want to do? Consulting. He said, nice. I want to do something with culinary arts, which is weird because I don't know why he brought this up here. I said, so you don't hate me? I said, do I hate you as a person? No, I just hate the way you run your server. You remind me of Golden. That's understandable. Maybe you can show me how to do things. What do you want help with? Like whatever you see as messed up. I said, can I be unbandaged? Look at it. There's probably more messages. I think this old account here is deleted. But anyway, it's obvious that Pale isn't really that mad at me because he wouldn't be talking to me if he's that mad. But anyway, he said, who were the other people who were going to raid IO server with? I said, they're not part of the Surviv community anymore. They're just part of people from TD Cancer. I said, will be useful for context. Donut's one of them. Jake the Goo was one of them. I need to reach out with Jake, see how he's doing. I said, anyone else? There was some more, but I don't remember TB8. I have another name who was involved. Who? Justine. Oh yeah, Justine. How do you know that? Just cross-checking people with who you think, who to tell me to see if you're honest. Once again, he said I've been honest a couple times, but now all of a sudden he's questioning me on that. So I remember Donuts and Justine are a thing. I don't think Justine was really in on it though. It was mainly Donuts, Jake, and I that were going for the blood. He said, all right. She was kind of like our cheerleader Lamau. There were others. I think there were 7 of us total. I just can't remember who. He said, can I share these screenshots with the other mods and parts of this combo? Why? Just to explain the situation on your side. I said, yes, under one condition. It doesn't hurt anyone else in this conversation that I didn't want to get into trouble, which is everybody beside Asami and Pale. He said, Donuts and Jake are already banned. Doesn't matter, lol. I said, protect Justine. Justine not going to do anything with that user. That's why I didn't mention her, Lamau. Okay, thanks. Justine really didn't have anything to do with the attempted raiding. Thanks for advocating for me, which I think is cap. I don't know. I said, are these screenshots in order? Yes. Who are you protecting, by the way? No one else. I don't remember who the other servers were. He said, all right. This was Pale here. Batman has talked. I wonder if this is Batman. I think it is Batman. Let's see what's in here. I don't know what this is. It's too small, opulent. Okay. Team Crater. I don't know who. Oh, Team Cream. Who's Team Cream? I don't know. Anyway, he said, what do you think about this? This is Cloudy telling people to leave another server. Seems similar to what was going on in LM. So now there's credibility because there's another server that's having an issue. Pale merged IO with Cloudy server. I forgot if I mentioned that. He did. So yeah, you did. I mean, it's toxic for sure, but I don't know if it's justified. He's also not giving them an ultimatum, which is a good side. Said, oh, you already see this already? Said, yeah, Pale was forcing people to leave. Cloudy's just persuading them to leave. No, I hadn't seen it yet. But isn't it basically the same thing? No, this is majorly milder version. Just doing it in a more manipulative way. Pale said, leave LM/DM or you won't be staff or allowed in DM. It was different for different people, whether or not it was staff or allowed. Okay, but it's a similar situation. So what do you do nowadays? Is LM still a thing? Yep, just got raided, but we're coming back again, or the same raid we've been talking about. I'm no longer owner. I'm running my own company as well as in charge of 350 students. I'm a little busy, lol. The second Ozami raid happened like 10 days ago. Oh, really? Do you have proof of that? I already sent you the proof. That stuff Mikey said. All right, that's the same raid we've been talking about. Yeah. What was the first raid? Are you talking about the raid against DM? Yeah, the raid against DM. That was nearly a year ago. All right, confused me there. End of February 2018. There were 3 raids. Ollie February 2018. Ollie January 19th or January 2019, and Cloudy on October 2018. Is there anything else we need to talk about? Well, it depends on the verdict, because if I'm unbanned, I'd like to reach out to the server owners to let them know about Ollie if that's not against the rules. He said, I wrote an essay to the other mods pretty much on this situation. I said, okay, any idea on when a consensus is going to be made? He said, I don't know, only one other mod on right now, probably a day. I said, yikes, nothing you can do about it though, lol. I'm leaning towards unbanning you, but I can't do that without consulting other mods because that would be going behind people's back. back? I said, yeah, of course. I know I left the group chat earlier because you were being hostile towards me and the moderation team, though I hope this continued conversation, you are at least somewhat satisfied. I really care for the community. Yes, you got banned, but I do wish to dispense fair justice to one another. He says, yeah, I am. Thanks for coming back. I really didn't mean to get hostile. What do you teach, by the way? I don't teach. I run intramurals for a dorm. First I've heard that used for intramural. Yeah, I looked it up and had something to do with sports, especially like competition between college students. So we have like 20 or so sports a year. People can compete to try to be the best in my college. He said, if you are one of the best players, does that increase your chance of getting into professional league? This is all for intramurals is just for fun. It's mainly between frats, but you can do it if you're not in a frat too. It's for fun. I suppose there are scouts that hang around maybe. It's people don't take it too seriously. If you want to go pro, you need to be playing for the college team, the one that's sponsored by the university. Sound like an old man, got a company and managing team for sports. Lol, I'm only 19, but I guess I can be an old man. Wow, got a lot going for you. I mean, the company doesn't make much money. You're still young. It could be point this company. Yeah, not this one. It's a lot of work, very little pay, and there's no automation. Another company could do better. Any update besides the server? Another server was rated by Cloudy and Buggy this time. If you want to talk about it, EasyBro is the owner of the server. Not really. Other mods have been busy lately. Is there any proof that these people were involved? Here's proof here. Why would he do that? Because it was Team Greater. It was a massive attack against Dope Squad. Multiple of them were involved. When did this happen? A few hours ago. And keep in mind, so I figured this after the fact. Nobody never sent the quote paragraph he was he said he sent. And I know this because I talked to two of the other mods and they said they never saw it. So either both of them are lying to me independently or John's lying to me. And I have difficulty believing that the two mods that I'm talking about here, and I'm not going to name them because I don't want them to get repercussions. I don't even know if they're part of the server anymore. I haven't talked to them for a while, but they both tell me they had never heard anything about what was going on here. So I think it was John just trying to silence me, similar to how A did, keep me quiet, keep me waiting instead of doing stuff, hoping that I would calm down. But obviously it's nearly a year later and things haven't really calmed down. Buggy is actually familiar and he rated VSM2. Could you add me, you and EasyBro to the group chat? I want to verify the logs for myself that it is Cloudy and not fake. And I said, no offense, bro, but did you put this much scrutiny into whoever reported me? He said, I wasn't the one who originally banned you. I try to be thorough when people make reports like this against another user who is the person who banned me. Once again, deflecting, not able to tell me because it seems like he's trying to cover for somebody here, either himself or somebody else. He said, don't worry about it. Another, don't worry about it. Deal with me. I don't want you witch hunting mods, which at this point, I guess he accomplished this. I didn't witch hunt mods. I've only witch hunted him. He said, okay, well, do they even have proof? Yeah, your ban was valid. What kind of proof did they have? Enough to warrant a ban. Once again, I mean, you can go ahead. I'll read this out. There's not really much importance to it. How come you didn't know it was inspector tooled? What do you mean? Also, are Pale and Osami banned from the main server? No, not yet. So this was 3 days later, I guess, and nothing had happened yet. This was quoting him here about you can't just take his word for it because it could be fake. Also, user ID doesn't really work because you can still fake stuff with being username. You get fake usernames with Nitro and setting the same profile picture and discriminator. The auto log's weird though. You can fake usernames without Nitro. Listen, I'm gonna be real here. I was banned without warning very quickly. Pale is still free after pretty hard, irrefutable evidence in a couple days. I was banned in under 4 hours. So what is it? This is a different situation. It is. Look, you constantly being pushy about things and trying to argue with every little thing won't help. Which at this point, I'm not arguing with every little thing. Like it'd be one thing if I got banned for 4 hours and I'm trying to push it to 2 hours or something. Like I got banned for something that was very minor in the grand scheme of things. And there are people that did much worse things that are running free after multiple days. I said things aren't adding up and I'm questioning about it. You've lied either directly or indirectly a ton of times to me, so I have to question everything. He said, how have I lied to you? Okay, so if that's what this is about, why am I bothering to speak to you? Wouldn't me bother just to block/ignore you? I mean, you don't have to, but if you want justice, you should. Now you're calling me a liar after I have honestly been trying to advocate to you for the other mods, which I don't think is true because that message was gone. So by the time that I had asked him, so I think I asked the mods around this time if they had seen it, and neither of the two mods that I spoke to had seen it. And there was only like 5 or 6 mods at that point, plus Nick and Justin. So it wasn't like there was a team of 25 and it was only certain mods that were looking at it. He couldn't say it was the mod team if they weren't included. So when he say yeah, which was true, I was referring to the search box in the ban tag, and the original reason for being banned was doxing. I rarely look for the reasons in the audit log. It's through the main ban log. You think that's lying? You were banned twice, once for the rating. Second time was by me after seeing the doxed information you spanned. I don't remember if that was the original case that he said. I said, yeah, well, you were pretty sure about it. You said there was misinformation and that Nick was incorrect, which yeah, totally 100% would be fair for me to believe that you were banned for doxing. Bro, are you dense or something? We had this discussion already. I don't think we did. Obviously, there's nothing about misinformation. I don't think, maybe somebody point that out to me if I already said it. I don't know. I don't remember. I've been recording for like 40 minutes now. I did end up finding the original reason after looking through other people's bans, which is something that I honestly have never done, which is weird because him as a mod has banned like 1,000 people at this point. So not looking through the ban reasons is all, which is concerning. I don't want to be stepping on your toes because I generally hope you're trying to help me, but things aren't adding up. If you think I'm lying about that, this communication line is done. This is a very common tactic amongst the Viv main mod, and I guess Libby as well, and the devs as well. As soon as as soon as you say something that's not perfectly within what their realm of comfortability is, they shut down everything. Because as long as you're not causing trouble, they're winning. So if you're causing trouble, then they start struggling with it a little bit, whether that's causing trouble in other servers or saying messages that they're unprepared to answer. So I said, I don't think you're lying because you wouldn't have done what I asked you to when I asked you to. Looking at the main Automod, I've been nothing but friendly and sincere to you. It's not really true because he has told me 3 different reasons why I've been banned and has alternated between a couple of them whenever it's most helpful to him, compared to having reasons to ban me and not the other 2. But you were misinforming me, and he said, and you're going to sit here and call me a liar after all this time I've been helping you? Yeah, which I generally thought was true based on the information I had. So once again, I guess it wasn't true, even though he said that back here, he said that I was dense. We already had this discussion, but once again, maybe he forgot about it. So maybe I'm not the one who's dense here. See, this puts me in a really bad situation because I can't burn this bridge because it's the only bridge I have, and it's my only chance of reverting the injustice that happened to me, which really sucks, knowing that you have to dance around. I said, then why are you trying to be confirmational here? I said, because I have to. What happened if you were lying to me and you never actually did bring this up to mods, which ends up being true? What happens if you're on Pale side and I'm just trying to make it where I don't contact another mod? Hey, I'm not like that, man, which is incorrect because it turns out that he never actually told the other mod and he was on the side of Pale, and Pale even admits this later. I said, how do I know that? Because I would be ignoring you right now. Why spend the effort arguing with you? What if you have to not ignore me out of fear that Pale would get in trouble if I went to another mod? I mean, there's a hypotheticals, but possible. He said, that's a really stupid conspiracy. I said, I mean, sure, all conspiracies are stupid to a degree, and I don't believe this one, but what would happen if it was actually true? He said, it's not. Totally idiotic to even consider a possibility, which ends up being the correct thing. So I don't know why. Maybe he's trying to lead me down the wrong path by calling me an idiot for believing in this conspiracy that ended up being true. I don't get it. I said, I mean, so was the Dead Baby Project, but see what happened there? He said, you're crazy. I'm not saying I believe in it. Well, I mean, the Dead Baby Project was 100%, so I do believe in that one, but I don't believe in the conspiracy that I just brought out. He said, I really never needed to add you as a friend to talk, by the way. What do you call that? I call that a distraction. Same thing that Libby does all the time. Just keep people, and A did it too. Just keep people not talking about something for long enough where they forget about it, and then it's not an issue anymore. Said, IDK, like you were trying to stall me or something until the auto logs are too far back to see something. I'm not saying it's a good conspiracy theory. He said, oh boy, another conspiracy. Why would I need to do that? Another mod, like you said, already knows the original version. That serves no benefit. You're just paranoid. Amusing though. I said, I mean, they could be on it. I never said the theory was accurate or flawed. I said, hey, so you know how Dope Squad was rated? It goes deeper than we thought. We have more evidence to say that there are at least 8 people involved, probably more. He said, report it to Discord support. So now all of a sudden, when he doesn't feel interested in reporting it, and when it doesn't seem like a big deal to him, it's now a Discord issue, not his issue. Which is actually interesting because him having these people in his server, in Surviv main, jeopardizes the entire server. As Libby said in her stream, hosting somebody who you know is in violation of the Discord TOS is in fact banned under the TOS. So Surviv main, even I guess technically now, could be banned for what John did a year ago. And he was on the time I got a ban for attempting to raid. He said, you originally unbanned for that, but rebanned for me for the doxing spam. It's unlikely we'll be unbanned. So all of a sudden now, it's me. It's no longer an issue with the mod. It's me. Interesting how the narrative flipped when it was advantageous for him. I said, be honest with me. Did you actually bring this up with the other mod? Because at this point, I knew he was lying to me. He said, I did. Not going to sit here and argue about that. And then I believe he removed the friend request. So that's it. All in 45 minutes, the entire history I've had with John. Only 3 or 4 days or so. 3 or 4 days is all it took. 3 or 4 days full of deception and incorrect facts. Him using what he wanted when he wanted and throwing out stuff whenever he didn't want it. It was an obvious grab for. It was obvious he was just trying to get me out of his hair. Not trying to deal with that. Saying he was bringing an issue up to the other mods, but it was never actually up to the other mods. And what's interesting is this isn't just a Surviv issue anymore. I remember how I told you guys he left, or he's no longer an active mod in Surviv main anymore. Or at least he wasn't like a week ago. He'd posted like 5 messages in the last week. He's gone to a game called BattleDudes.io. I joined the server for BattleDudes.io. Unfortunately, I was banned by the developer. Why do you think? Not because I did anything wrong. It would be one thing if I went in there and caused harassment or even did what I do to Libby in there. That's warrant for ban, I guess. In theory, it's a bad ban reason, but it's possible. I got banned because I tried to warn the developer about John. I said, here's what happened with Surviv main. I pointed out the numbers. I told him what happened to the game. I told him what happened to the community. He said, okay, I'll take that in consideration. John becomes very active on the server like 2 weeks before I joined. He becomes very friendly with the developer, similar to what he did with Nick and Justin. John is very good at coercing people into believing what he wants them to believe. I got banned from the server, the Battle Dudes server. I didn't even play the game. I didn't message anything in there. All of a sudden I got banned one day, similar to what happened here with Surviv main. Got banned. I asked Strawberry to ask the developer why I got banned. The reason was for harassing Libby. Do you want to know who brought that up to the attention of him? He wasn't looking through my channel. He doesn't care about my YouTube channel. He's never watched my YouTube channel. John brought it up to him. John wanted me out of the server. Why do you think he wanted me out of the server? Pretty obvious why he wanted me out of the server. Anyway, boys, that part 5 under wrap. Part 4 is, I don't know, did I record part 4? Yeah, I recorded part 4. I haven't edited it yet. So part 4 will be coming out January 3rd. This one will be coming out January 10th. I guess you would have already seen it by now. There's no point in me telling you the date it's coming out. Part 6 will be coming out either the 17th or the 24th, depending on how long I need to edit it and how many questions I have. If you guys have any questions about the documentary, and actually, you know what, I'm going to put out the whole documentary first, and then I'm going to put out part 6. So if you guys have any questions about the documentary and any parts of it, put them down in the comments below. I'll try to answer them for part 6, or similarly, you can DM me. But anyway, I'll see you guys next video.